Anchor with your continuous participants.
अच्छा आवाज आ
Yes, sir. बोले सर.
Hello. Dear all participants, it is requested to mute your audio. Please. We can start the program within 5 minutes. Hello. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Is there Dhamma madam is there from Bharati Vidyapit? Dhamma madam. Hello, Dhamma
Yes.
madam. हाँ मैम from myself Dr. Jagdale from SB Patel College of Engineering. Hello. Hello.
हा नाही ते करेक्ट आहे पण सध्याचा काय आमच्या दृष्टिकोनातून आमच्या घरच्यांच्या दृष्टिकोनातून नाही.
हेलो
Hello.
हा माझा आवाज येतोय का?
येस सर. येतोय.
Hello. I request all participants to mute their video and audio also. Please mute the video and audio. Sanjay More sir, please mute the video.
तू हे लाव तुला हे देऊ का? कारण ते याच्यात रिफ्लेक्ट आवाज
you can
All participants. Sanjay More sir, please mute the video from your side.
Gule sir. Hello.
हा बोला सर. हा बोला सर.
सोनाली मॅडम स्टार्ट करा सांगा मग.
ओके ओके.
हा सर ओके.
लय सोपं आहे याच्यावर. उलट ऑप्शन लय भारी येतात त्या PC मध्ये. मी काय करतो आता मी मला घ्यायचं ते ओपन करून ठेवलेलं आता त्या स्क्रीन मध्ये त्या स्क्रीन वर तुमच्याकडे प्रॉब्लेम होणार आहे. हॅलो.
लाईव्ह ऑन युट्यूब येते ना.
अहो सर माझा फोन तिथे कनेक्ट आहे.
आता मी
Hello, Gautam Kharat sir has raised hand.
फोन चालू.
हाँ सर करो ना सर.
आता चालू केलं तर पुन्हा का बंद केलं? हो 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 हो.
Very good boy.
Ma'am, no voice is there.
No, not audible. तिथलं बटन वगैरे चालू करा सर. थांबा.
Who gave us inspiration and the mentor for organizing this workshop. I would like to thank our honorable
Oh, sir.
मी माझं कुठं सर माझ्याकडे
Yes, yes, yes. Yes, yes, yes. Start.
Am I audible to all of you? Sorry for the interruption.
Yes, yes.
Sorry for the interruption. I take an opportunity to express the words of gratitude for those persons who gave us inspiration and mentor for organizing this workshop. I would like to thank our Honorable Principal Dr. Anand Bhargav sir for his inspiration and the mentorship. I also put words of thanks on record for Principal Dr. Praveen Nemade sir, SPVP, SB Patil College of Engineering in Indapur, for his guiding and mentoring this venture. Project-based learning is basically an instructional approach designed to
आता मॅडमचं झाल्यावर काय मी तिथे जाऊन बसतो ते बघा एकदा
हॅलो हॅलो कायच हॅलो ई सेशन इज स्टार्टेड मैडम नो रिप्लाई
कोण
हेलो हेलो आई कांट लिसन प्रॉपरली
I can't hear properly.
लिसन
Ranjini,
हॅलो घोले सर हॅलो घोले सर सोनाली मॅडम कडून काही प्रॉब्लेम आहे का
I will check it.
हा I think they are not connected. So inauguration we can start the program na
Hello.
घोले सर
So we had internet problem over here.
Okay, okay.
Uh,
So can we start?
yeah, yeah, sure. Just
So I request our principal sir have a few words. Then we start.
yeah, okay, fine, sir. Fine, do it, sir.
Okay, so the all participants on the behalf of SB Patel College of Engineering and Bharati Vidyapeeth's College of Engineering, uh, I request principal of SBP COE Dr. PD Nemade sir to have a few words with all participants. Please, sir. All participants, please mute your video audios and videos.
Hello.
Good morning, sir.
Good
You can
morning.
start,
Good
sir.
morning, all of you. Myself, Dr. Praveen Nemade, Principal, SB College of Engineering, Indapur. So first of all, I welcome all dear participants, all the respected dignitaries, all the head of the departments, and the principal of Bharati Engineering College, their management, trustee, board members, Shajura Patil Vikas Pratistans, our president, Harshodhanji Patil, vice president, Ankita Dey Patil, secretary, Bakisha Dey Patil, and young dynamic, our trustee member, Rajvardhan Dada. With their great visionary, we have organizing this project-based learning 3 days program. This is a very nice program scheduled by collaborative with Bharati Engineering College, Bharati Vidyapeeth Engineering College. Very great initiative by these two institutes, as in the changing all this education system, the teachers, rather he is a facilitator and a mentor to the students, keeping view with this new AICT reforms, examination reforms, consideration of the new syllabus, introducing this PBL course having 2 credits. The main theme and objective is behind this PBL is the way foreign countries abate accreditations, their educations, and the students, particularly in first year level, how they can critically think this higher education. It's higher educations means you have to emphasize in all the skill sets that required to become a value-based quality engineer. Outcome-based educations, OBE, that is nowadays the NBA, we have keeping with these views, long-term and interdisciplinary approach and student-centric. To implement this project-based learning and inculcate this independent learning by individual student to solve the problems not only for the industries, but the problems in the societal, socio-economic problems. To solve this, we have to implement this technological science-based fictions to help the society to engage while day-to-day learning in the classroom theoretical aspects. They must inculcate and understand and do this kind of project-based small projects. If you see, you can get a wonders. Now I can quote some of the things that there will be students in school level also at the age of 10 to 15 years, like Arman Gupta, who built the remote control cleaning machine to help his mother. Like Abhik Saha, who has built an entire search engine and started his company in West Bengal. The Gursiman Singh, he's a 16th of age, built a device to help a visually impaired read. There another Kavya Vignesh. She is a 12 years old, built a robot to save the bees, honey bees, a robot to save the bees. These are the very interesting innovations. So on. How this will be coming? Because in a school level, there is a PBL, there is a problem-based learning, there is a something they are coming out from their theoretical laws, theorems, and implementing this kind of technology to create some soft machines, hard machines. So like this, we have to, everybody, the God gives the birth to everybody having very beautiful knowledge and brains. Only the part is what we have to flourish them. We have to, their hidden talents has to be flourished in that first year level, so that in last year, they must have their own startup. We have to mean that taking admissions in engineering, not for the degree. We have to create our life beautiful through this technology innovations. They should become a techno savvy. They should become a workaholic. They must understand the work ethics, student ethics, how the students can behave, behavioral aspects, human values, all this context. When you form the 4 to 5 groups of the students in PBL, you have to inculcate all these aspects to become a very good ideal engineers who will dedicate to the society and the nation to build our strong nations. So with this, thank you all to this PBL course. And I welcome all their participants to more and more interact rather than one side. You can understand all the formats, all the tabular forms, all the worksheets, all the PBL course structure thoroughly and have an interactive session. Best of luck from my side. Thank you well.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your valuable words with all participants. Uh, Now I request Gule sir to have few words about this FDP. Gule sir, please.
Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you, Principal and Dean of our college, Dr. Anand Bhalerao, to give we such opportunity to conduct the faculty development program on project-based learning. So I welcome you all on behalf of Bharati Vidyapeeth deemed University College of Engineering and the SB College for this online faculty development program. Well, I won't speak much. However, like to share certain points regarding project-based learning approach. Well, project-based learning is an instructional approach designed to give students the opportunity to develop knowledge and skills through the engaging projects set around challenges and problems they may face in the real world. It is rightly said by a Swiss psychologist, knowledge is consequence of experience. Thus, the project-based learning offers a platform to the students to engage themselves to solve the real world problems and through which they are developing their skill set. I think this is one of the most appropriate way for technical and professional education, as we have been observing the cry from the industry that many of the students are not possessing required skill, and it could be due to lack of environment where students are not engaged themselves and learn need to focus uh, the skills by doing. I hope this faculty development program will light on such issues where we need to focus as an academician while utilizing the project-based learning in our classroom. The expertise will enlighten us through their insights during these 3 days. Once again, I thank you all and congratulate for overwhelming response for this faculty development program on the project-based learning. Once again, I thank you all and the both institutions which are working hardly on this faculty development program, and the speakers, I welcome them also for conducting and giving such their precious time for us. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Now I request to Dr. P.U. Veer to give an introduction of today's speaker. Over to you, sir.
Yes, thank you, Bonesley, sir. Good morning, all. Thank you for being here this morning. Today, we are pleased to welcome Dr. Vaibhav Jadhav, a very special guest from University of Pune, for the talk on project-based learning as activity system. In this talk, he's going to share his expert opinion on the theoretical background of project-based learning and implementation of the project-based learning. Dr. Vaibhav Jadhav completed his PhD from Barkatullah University, Bhopal in 2010. Dr. Vaibhav Jadhav is an author of number of publications. Also, he is author of book, teacher, educator, and accessible biology laboratory for visually impaired people. He attended number of conferences, seminars, and workshops nationally and internationally. Dr. Vaibhav Jadhav got the Best Research Paper Award in Maharashtra State of Secondary Teacher Education Association Conference, which is held in year 2010. Also, he received Raman Fellowship from UGC for postdoctorate research in University of Massachusetts, USA for the year 2016-17. With this, I ask you to give your full attention to Dr. Vaibhav Jadhav and help me in welcoming him to this session. Dr. Vaibhav Jadhav, please.
Good morning to all of you. Padmanabh sir, good morning to all of you.
Good morning, sir. You can continue.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Can you give me the favor that can I become a host or co-host so I can share my slides?
Sir, you can share your screen.
Okay. Thank you. Good morning to all of you. And I am really thanks to all the organization committee that they are taking me this opportunity to discuss with this new issue with all the learned professors. So I thanks to Chancellor, Vice Chancellor and Pro-Vice Chancellor of Bharati University. I thank to Bhalerao sir, Nemade sir, and all the organization committee members, Gule sir, Namal madam, Khandagale sir. So it is a good opportunity to me because I am a student of education and I work with the students. This is the first time I am taking such kind of the session in front of the engineers and the teachers, those develop the engineer for the nation. So it is a good, what I'm saying that it is a good opportunity to discuss with you regarding the project-based learning. So when right now, Nemade sir discuss about some ideas about the project-based learning. Basically, we are the learner from the education disciplinary. Education is one of the interdisciplinary faculty from its burn. And when we are thinking about the education, it is basically we have some kind of assumption regarding education that this is only for the teaching section, or we can say the classroom activities. But nowadays, everyone is talking about the multidisciplinary, interdisciplinary, transdisciplinary. So it is a time to, in India, we work together and we have to develop some kind of the good courses, programs for the new generation. When ma'am asked me about the project-based learning, that how we can, Gule sir, I am not able to share my screen. Mostly disable the participant screen sharing. Gule sir?
I request host, yes. I request Jagdale sir, Khandagale sir to
Yes, sir. Now you can share,
give
sir.
the rights to share.
Yeah.
You can share, sir, now.
Yes, right. So, when this is a very common concept, people are generally talking about the project-based learning and all these things. Everyone is thinking it is very, and it is very coin word in the field of education. And when we discuss about the project-based learning, we have a very already, I think Nematis have told that this is a very small activity which we were conducted in a classroom. I think my presentation is able to share. Yeah. Okay. So, Khandagale sir, I think it is visible to at your end.
Yes, sir, it's visible.
Yeah. Okay. So when thinking about the project-based learning as a student of, first thing I would like to clear to all of you, my listener and all the professors, those are from the engineering background. I am not teaching to anything to you regarding the project-based learning. So we believe that teaching is not take place in anywhere. We believe on a learning. That's why we are using the learning teaching process in a classroom. We never use the single word either learning and either teaching. So learning teaching is the major process. It's need place in a classroom. Before going to discuss about the project-based learning, I would like to focus on please Rinda Rote. Please mute your yeah. So I would like to discuss with you regarding the learning. Before going to have some words on a project-based learning. What is the learning? As a student of education and educational psychology, if you remember all the people, maybe you remember that, and you can remind your old age, those where you spend in a school. Learning in India, we have, not in India, everywhere we can say, learning, how the learning is developed. See, very initially in the education, I'm talking about the entire education. Behaviorism, this is the one of the theory which is developed in educational psychology, basically. So student and children, a child learn with the help of behaviorism. What is a behaviorism? Behaviorism means generally we observe the others behave or behavior and we learn a lot of things. For example, a child in a house, in a classroom, they observe you, they observe the parents, they observe the member of the house, and they accordingly they can behave. So at the initially learning, how the learning is going? Learning is going with the behaviorism. Then the behaviorism transformed, number of theories involved at that decade. Then it transformed into the cognitivism. Then some scientists from the psychology, they argued that not only because of the behaviorism, but we can learn with the help of some kind of activities happening in the mind, not in the mind, in the brain. That's why there is the second step and second level, we can say. Cognitivism is coming in the education, and we proved that, we learned that learners learn with the help of the cognitivism, with the help of the brain. That's why brain-based learning is coming. So the learning process transformed from behaviorism to cognitivism. And we confirm that our learning is with the help of the behaviorism from to the cognitivism. Nowadays, this this kind of the scenario is coming because of the pandemic COVID-19. In India, we can say in the world, everyone is talking about the online learning and e-learning. If you see in 2010 to 2012, that time the WhatsApp coming into the market and it's taken place into the higher education also. The e-learning format, it's become changed. And learning format is also, it is also changed. See, behaviorism to cognitivism, and then cognitivism transform into the connectivism. That's why this connection, now it is coming with the connectivism. And today we are connected to each and everyone with the help of the number of different kind of the app, different kind of the technology, different kind of the softwares. So now the connectivism is going. Learning is happening because of the connectivism. So this is the number of development is happening in the field of the education. And this connectivism is connected to each and everyone at any level before the pandemic COVID-19 and after the pandemic COVID-19. Some teachers are regularly using all kind of the devices, all kind of the softwares, all kind of the apps, even Facebook, Twitter, WhatsApp group. But now it is a one kind of the mandatory. It is one kind of the compulsion. So this is the learning, how learning is evolving in the field of higher education. And there are a number of different kind of the based learning. For example, scenario based learning. Then activity based learning, action based learning, problem based learning, project based learning. So different kind of the new approaches are coming in the field of the learning. Each and every approach has its own characteristics. So we are not trying to intermingle all the approaches at a one time. Here I am not claiming that project-based learning is one of the best one. No. It is one of the best. We can't say it is the only one best. There are different kind of activities. So we are trying to using the project-based learning. I'm also not claiming that project-based learning is useful for all the subjects, all the courses, all the programs. No. It's different. It is depend on the mentor. It is depend on the course coordinator. It will depend on the teacher. It will depend on the context. It will depend on the content. So not every time we are trying to match with the content with any kind of the based learning. So project-based is one of the method, or we can say one of the approach for the learning. If you remember, I think definitely all of you are students of the technical education. But I would like to take some time to you that you can focus. If you remember in 1986, the first policy of education, national policy on education, 1986. After 1986, now the second policy is coming in 2016. So national policy on education in 1986 clearly mentioned about the project-based learning. I'm talking about the word project. If you read the policy, you can observe there is one para on a projects. As such, there is no word of the project-based learning, please. But the project is, teacher should be use the project for the classroom discourse. Jagdare sir, so I'm Jagdare
Yes,
sir. Yeah. Jagdare sir, please, at least it is my request to you. Please unmute to yourself, because see, you know that I am a teacher, you are the teacher, and at least one of the students should be interact with me, so I can on the same line, or I can understand that, oh, my audience are there. It is my request to you. So somewhere I am asking to you. Okay, sir, is it fine with
Yes,
you?
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir. So the word project highlighted in the policy in 1986, which is very well-known policy, national policy on education. You can search on our website and Google. You can get it. It is very small document, but it is the guideline of the higher education and entire education in India. Same policy transfer. This is the policy 1986, and the action plan came into the 1992. It is known as the Program of Action (POA). In these two documents, the project was highlighted. And this is the very interesting thing. The word getting the, so the interpretation of all the teachers from the KG to PG, from the primary education to higher education, everyone is talking about it is just kind of the teacher centered. So if you, it is a teacher centered. So I would like to take one example here. If you remember at the school level, teacher, basically language teacher are assigned to one activity, essay writing. Like that, sir, you may remember that. Essay writing is the very important topic in a language. Marathi, Hindi, English. We have a Nibandha, no? Nibandha layala lavaichi.
Correct.
So this essay writing is very interesting part. And teacher asked to us, I remember my days that my teacher asked to me, so every teacher is asked to everyone that what kind of essay. Last year we completed the assignment as a essay. That time there were some students, they remember that, yes sir, last year we write some kind of different essay. You know, there is another one essay type. Ideas expansion is ideas, essays on ideas. What is your idea? What is your new thinking? In Marathi, I remember that मी पंतप्रधान झालो तर, मी फुलपाखरू झालो तर, मी, like this time, this kind of the essay. It is very interesting, Jagdaya sir. If you remember, teacher was decided. The topic of the essay, teacher was decided. Very misunderstood, misconcepted by the teacher, or by that time, I don't know what happening at that time. But teacher was decided that, okay, this year we can decide to develop the essay on such and such thing. For example, now if I were become a prime minister, शिक्षक ठरवायचे आणि कोणाच्या कल्पनांचा विस्तार करायचा आहे, विद्यार्थ्यांचा. So see, this is the very paradox. We would like to develop the ideas of the students, but the topic was decided by the teacher. And this is the misleading in the project. And that's why meanwhile there are a lot of research were happening in the field of the projects. And now we are working on a project-based learning. Then nowadays, if you remember, if you visited any public school, there were one professor from the education, Dr. Ramdas Barkale, Professor Barkale, Ramdas Barkale, who was the member of SCRT, NCRT, Balabharati, and he decided, okay, you can open the such kind of topic to the students. So they can decide, students can decide that what kind of essay they would like to prepare. If I want to become a butterfly, if another student want to become a prime minister, if another student want to become a something different, so it should be open to the student. We have to give the guidelines, we have to give the mentoring guidelines. A student can write and student can develop their own projects. This is a very basic principle of the project-based learning. That's why it should be student-centered. It should be work with the student. It is not at all always guiding, always monitoring by the, monitoring, always teaching by the teacher, but we can monitor to the projects. We can't teach to the project. That's why it is a project generally, it is a teacher directed. And when we are talking about the projects learning, it is an inquiry based. It is open-ended, what I am saying that right now. What kind of essay would you like to write? This is open-ended. So you have to give some kind of the space to the students. This is open-ended. It should be on an inquiry base, not just like a highly very structured. So you should be write essay on specific. You have to do project in the field of only one area, chemical engineering. No, it should be depend on a students, their specialization, their ideas, their interest basically. That's why project-based learning highlighting it should be inquiry-based, open-ended, ongoing issues, challenging questions, all are involved. Engagement is there. It should be giving the solution, not only answer. Solution is always in a implementation form. So these are the quite difference between the projects and project-based learning. So when we are thinking about this project-based learning, how it is going? So see, when the project-based learning is happening in a classroom at any, I'm talking about from the KG to PG, from primary education to higher education, in any class, this should be very important. We can say the aspect for the project-based learning. I'm not going in detail one by one, but basically, and I would like to say that when we assign a project, definitely it is a part of curriculum. There is no issue. When we assign, sorry, I'm not saying we assign. When we mean teacher and student, both of us, not only teacher. So when student will work on a project, it should be on a curriculum base. It should be collaborative with the students. So project always be collaborative. At least there were 2-3 members. There are 2-3 members. So it is not a work we can do individually, what I'm saying. So when we thinking about this project-based learning, we have to concern this all the parameters or aspects. Here I would like to focus on the autonomy. So project driven, collaborative, it should be realistic, it should be the driving question, it should be based on the curriculum base. But what is the autonomy? If anybody thinks about this autonomy word, what is the word playing the role in a project-based learning? What is the autonomy? So as a mentor or as a course caretaker, I should give some kind of autonomy to my students. I know that in engineering college, there are a lot of action fieldwork projects were happening, assigning by the teacher to the students. So we need to give the autonomy. I always emphasizing this issue that as a teacher, I am ready to give some kind of autonomy to my student in the project. Then they will be show their all kind of the capacity, capabilities, and all kind of the ideas. For example, here I would like to quote one example. Take the example of Google. If we were discussing in classroom with the student any kind of the work, then we have student generally ask the question to the Google. So Google giving all kind of the answers of the questions. Learner can get the same autonomy which is provided by the Google. Are you ready to give this kind of autonomy to the students in the projects? It is my request to all my learned professors. You have to give some autonomy to the students. Now this generation, the entire generation is asking number of questions to the Google, and Google is giving the answers. Then one of in my classroom, one of teacher asked me, sir, if we are giving the such kind of autonomy to the student, then what is the role of myself in a classroom? What is my role? So I will be absent. I will be lose my job. No, not at all. For example, in the Google, student can ask the question to the Google, and Google give the autonomy to the learner, and learner ask any kind of the question to the Google, and Google giving the answer. But if you see what is the difference between the Google teacher and the real teacher, Google are providing number of resources. Google is providing information, and we can say which is the very appropriate, important, it is the relevant information only the teacher can explain. So there is no threat, no tension about the Google. So we should be ready to give the autonomy to the students. If in the project-based learning, if they will get such kind of autonomy, they can explore themselves in the projects. It is happening in the technical education, but somewhere I found in my humanities and social science, it will be somewhere it is absent. But it is my request to all of the teachers who can be a part with the students. So now we move to the how it is a system. In a geography, system word is playing very important role. Science also system is playing very important role. In a computer education system is playing very important word. So same word taking here in education we are, and we thought that this project-based learning activity, it is just kind of the system. It is a design. Definitely it is open-ended, but it should be based on some kind of the system. So whenever we are design the project-based learning, or we are designing the guidelines for project-based learning, it should be matching with the learning objectives, and I'm saying here learning outcomes. So again, I would like to focus on the word about the learning. So the design is basically depend on, or we can quietly depend on the learning objective of the project. Definitely it is a group activity, and when it will become at the end, or it will become with the finish line, it should be presented by the group. That is why it is carrying the importance of the collaborative and cooperative characteristics. That's why this is the one kind of system. So it is carrying all these things like a river. River carrying all, river start from its starting to at the end to the sea. It's carrying a lot of things and properly meet to the sea. Same thing, if you see the system, if you see design, it should be carrying with the group activity, group work, group presentation. And this is not merely one activity. It is already I mentioned system. In higher education, suppose in the project-based learning higher education, how it is working as a system. In any higher education, from technical education, teacher education, if you see, these are the main important three pillars. In your engineering college, in any school level, in any college level, these are the three important parts. Teacher should be there in a higher education, student should be there in higher education, and learning objective. What is the learning objective means? Your curriculum. Please take it is as not as a curriculum, because curriculum is a one kind of the draft, but how we can achieve the learning objective. So learning objectives is important in the activity system. So teacher, student, and learning objective, these are the three important part of the higher education or any project-based learning activity in higher education. So teacher is there, student is there, so learner is there, mentor is there, some courses are there, programs are there, syllabus is there, books. So those syllabus and objectives are reflecting in a material in the form of the textbooks, in the form of the ICT material, in the form of the online or offline, we can say. So in activity system of the project based learning, so teacher is important aspect, teacher is important part, then student, then learning objectives, syllabus, and it should be reflected in a textbook, or we can say in the form of the textbook or in the form of the learning materials. We can't, we are taking this word as it is a learning material. It is not a books, it is not a information, it is a learning material. And then the learning material transfer into the information, transfer into the knowledge. This is the knowledge, we can say knowledge process. I will explain this thing also. So teacher, student, learning objectives, and the learning objectives in the form of the notes. Not note is not good word, but the learning material. And now I would like to focus very important two things: rules and role. So in the project based learning, if you should be remember, it is request to all the teacher. These are the very important parameter, always taking into the consideration that teacher, student, and books are there in higher education. But when we are thinking about the project based learning activity system, we can consider all these traditional parameters of the higher education. According with these, there are the two very important things, that rules and roles. Now, what is the rule? Rule of the project based learning. Rule of the interaction, rule of the communication, rule of the working style in a project, rules of the, so all kind of the rules, which is designed by the teachers and with the help of the students, not at all at the only one level of the teacher. So when we are defining the rules of the project based learning, we should be considered some kind of the importance, some kind of the suggestion from the students. Definitely higher authority is working there as a dean and principal and head of the department. Yeah, somewhere something is happening. So these are rules as important, and the role. So rules for everyone, rules for the teacher, rules for the, rules for the material also.
Sir, what is meant by PBL?
Is that role? What is the role of the teacher and what is the role of the students? नियम आणि आपल्या भूमिका, कोणते नियम पाळायचे आणि आपली भूमिका काय? What is my role? What is the role of the teacher in the project based learning? What is the role of the student in the project based learning? So this is the entire system.
Dear all participants, please mute your audios. Please, it making disturbances during the presentation.
Sandeep sir, thank you. So, this activity system, these are the very traditional important part, and these rules and roles, bhumika आणि तुमचे नियम, these are the very important when we are implementing the project based learning in a classroom. So if you see, Sandeep sir, can you mute the annotation? Yeah, okay. When we are thinking about the learning objective, this is ultimately entire project based learning activity system is focusing on the learning outcomes. So this learning outcome is very important in the project based learning, in any kind of the learning, not only in the project based learning, in a regular class also, we should be focused on a learning outcome. If we are not achieving the learning outcome properly, we can't fulfill the objective of the higher education. So this is the entire cultivation of the project based learning. If we are absent, we are losing any focus. For example, suppose I lose the focus on the rules. जर लोकांनी नियम नाही पाळले, if I lose the focus of the rules as a teacher, as a student, then it will be the not properly cultivate the entire your ideas in a classroom. So already we discussed, but just I would like to focus on the characteristics of the project-based learning, that in any project, I'm talking about technical education or teacher education, students make the decision regarding the projects with the help of the teacher. Students design the process for the reaching the solution definitely with the help of the teacher. Why I'm saying the teacher? Because teacher should play the role as the mentor, not a teacher. He should be work as a mentor, as a guide, as a friend, as a philosopher, facilitator. So they can design their own process, they can design their own programs. So and ultimately students are responsible. Once they have some kind of the responsibility with them, so they will be trying to managing, trying to implementing all kind of the proper guidelines of their own projects. And when the project-based learning is, suppose this is the one semester, and in one semester we need to achieve one or two projects in my course. I'm saying course, for example 401, it is my course, and I would like to assign, not I am assigning, but we would like to work on a project-based learning. So students should be work together, and the evaluation take place continuously. In the project-based learning, don't consider the final evaluation. For example, generally I found everywhere, ultimately last presentation is the final evaluation mechanism of the students. No, it is not with matching with the project-based learning. In the project-based learning, the evaluation should be going with the project-based learning. But it is known as the CC, continuous comprehensive evaluation. सातत्यपूर्ण सर्वंकष मूल्यमापन. सातत्यपूर्ण सर्वंकष मूल्यमापन, it should be going on. म्हणजे त्या मुलाला प्रत्येक टप्प्यावरती शिक्षकाने ऑब्झर्व केलं पाहिजे, कंटिन्युअसली, कॉम्प्रेहेन्सिव्हली and continuously. Teacher work as a mentor, work as an observer, and he or she can be measure all kind of the students' learning. And when we are evaluating the students, we have to give the students freedom to reflect at any point of the projects. What are they are doing? A final product is produced and it is evaluated for the quality purpose. At the very initial level, Professor Principal Nemade sir mentioned about some students, some kids develop such kind of the products. So this kind of the freedom, because such students receive the entire support from the family. Same thing, we should be stand as a support to the students in a project-based learning. And our entire atmosphere of a classroom should be very acceptable, because there are a number of errors, there are a number of mistakes. So we can accept it, we can check it, we can remove it, we can improve it as a mentor in a project-based learning as a teacher. Now, I would like to focus on theoretical background. Generally, if you see the scenario-based learning, action-based learning, activity-based learning, project-based learning, problem-solving-based learning. So there is some theories working. For example, already I mentioned about the learning theories at the very initial level. So how the project-based learning is also depend on which theme. Behaviorism, come to the last point, that behaviorism, cognitivism, connectivism, these are the development into the field of the learning. So project-based learning approach is basically, the entire parameter is basically depend on the constructivism. The constructivist approach or the constructivism is very well known. Actually, it is also, see how it is connected with the project-based learning. The constructivism is developed by the Vygotsky, who is the psychologist, and who is basically defined about the social constructivism. So this constructivism means student can construct their own knowledge. How the project basis PBL is connected with this. Student construct their own knowledge in a classroom, in the learning environment. Here the word is learning environment. So we can use that classroom. Classroom should be as always learning environment. It is not a we are the dictator and all are the slaves. No, this is not at all in happening in a constructivism. In the constructivism classroom, all are equal. Students and teachers working with together, and they are all are the equal on one learning platform. So this constructivism, the basic characteristics that students can develop their own knowledge, definitely with the help of the information which is provided by the teacher, which is provided by the technology, which is provided by the learning materials, but they can come together and they can develop their own knowledge. Whereas in an old school model, teacher was the taskmaster, but in this new school model, teacher become a facilitator, mentor, and student can develop their own knowledge with the help of all the guidelines which is designed by the teacher. So this is the very important constructivism. It is very well-known word in Marathi, that Jnana Rachanavad. If you see the word Jnana Rachanavad, so रचने तयार करणे, ज्ञान तयार करणे, आणि हे ज्ञान विद्यार्थी वर्गात तयार करू शकतो याची आपल्याला तेवढी गॅरंटी ठेवून, शाश्वती ठेवून वर्गात गेलं पाहिजे. So they can construct their own knowledge with the help of the learning material, with the help of learning objectives, with the help of the learning material in the form of the ICT, or we can say offline and online. And definitely you work as a mentor, you work as a guide, you work as a facilitator, you work as a friend, philosopher. So we need to, in the project-based learning, it is my request to all the teacher again and again, we should be forget that your role as a teacher. You should be we should be transferred into the mentor. Then you can take the enjoy in the project-based learning. This is the beauty of the project-based learning. And if you, I would like to take one example here again, Sandeep sir. Take from one example from the school level. In the school level, suppose you can take your example in a classroom, in Bachelor of Engineering, you can take any example. Suppose I would like to express one of my friends' experience in a classroom. What is the constructivism? A teacher, for example, teacher asked, this is the example of the school level. You can take the example from your level also. In a classroom, suppose this is 7th class, and in the 7th class, suppose a teacher asks the question, what is the capital of India? Listen very carefully. What is the capital of India? And suppose the enthusiastic student, there were some enthusiastic students in a classroom, and a student explained very enthusiastically, yes, the capital is the Mumbai. So I would like to ask Sandeep sir, what is your reaction as a teacher? Sandeep sir, Jagdal sir.
Yes, sir.
Suppose I'm asking the question in a classroom, 7th class, what is the capital of India? And suddenly the student who is very enthusiastic students, he just complete my question and replied very enthusiastically that Mumbai. What is the common reaction of the teacher in a classroom? तुमची
Yeah, it will. The student, yeah, but teacher will be angry and you don't know anything. You don't know this simple answers like that. They will.
बरोबर. Sandeep sir rightly, I am very happy that Sandeep sir mentioned the real answer.
Yeah, yeah.
Generally, some teacher will be try to saying that no sir, I am asking very politely like this way. But no, this is very simple question. When teacher asks the very simple question to the student in any level, I am saying primary level and higher education, and if the student made a mistake, teacher become very angry. Teacher become very panic. You nonsense, you don't know such kind of the very simple answer of this question, foolish and blind, blah blah blah. Okay, you can imagine at your own days. This is the mistake done by the teacher. Actually, constructivism is saying that this is there is not wrong answer in a classroom at all. Every answer is the right answer. So what is constructivism saying? In the project-based learning approach, constructivism saying that you can develop, you can create the another question of the wrong answer. If I am asking what is the capital of India and student replied that the capital of India is the Mumbai, that time I should be create the another question in a classroom. So see, this is the very difficult to the teacher to develop the question in a classroom at a one time. Because I'm not criticizing teacher community, but we are very fixed. We have very fixed question in a classroom. So definitely no teacher like this in this group. But somewhere some teachers are using same question, same answering at the very initial slide. This is project-based learning is not at all answering model. It is solution model. That's why if you ask the question, if you are getting the different kind of the answers, you have to create the different kind of the questions. This is that's why the role of the teacher in a classroom, it is very difficult in the system of the project-based learning approach. If you are designing the project-based learning as a certificate program or diploma program, you have to design, you have to maintain all kind of the behaviorism theory to the constructivism theory. Teacher should be know before starting the project-based learning, they should be know the constructivism. At least what is the constructivism and how I can work on this constructivism. That's why then he will be able to do the proper project-based learning approach in a classroom. In any classroom, I'm saying in any classroom, in any technical classroom, BE, MBA, senior college level, any level. So this is just kind. So what I would like to mention this thing. Now in my okay. So how we work in a project, how we work in a department level. Now I would like to share some examples which we were doing in a department. How we can be carried. So in the second session, I would like to explain how you can be develop your own outline and activity design of your project-based learning. So see, on your screen, you can see that it is activity design. So how the projects carry, how the project-based learning approach is working in a classroom. Suppose HOD or dean or principal asked me that you have to design some kind of projects in your course. I'm saying course, I'm not saying program. Program means Bachelor of Engineering, Master of Engineering, it is a program. So in my course, suppose I would like to design one project-based learning activity for my course. So I should be motivated to my students. If your students are already motivated, there is no need to wastage 2-3 days on the motivation. So at least suppose I need 2 days to motivation that you should be work on our projects. But if Sandeep sir, Jagdale sir saying that no, I don't need 2 days. I within 2 hours, within 1 hour, I can motivate with my student to my students. So it will depend on the mentor. So you have to at least take the consideration, at least take the confidence with the students that we have to do such kind of we will work, we will have to design and blah blah all these things. So you can at least you can spare some time with your students, so they can familiar with you, they can understood your approaches, your ideas, your working style. So that is this is the importance behind using these 2 days actually before starting any kind of the projects. So they can understand, okay, oh, our teacher has his own goal and we need to work on this curriculum. So with this help of 2 days, suppose surprisingly in my department there is one madam she has a very good relation with the students. So she doesn't need to wasting 2 days. Suppose Dhamal madam want to spending some 3-2 hours. So it will depend on a teacher. Sometimes I need 2 days, and this sir needs 1 day only. Madams need only some few hours. So you can take some consideration, some acceptance, we can say, from the students group. Once you have to develop all kind of the groups, all your mechanism, and suppose in my department when this is the 62 days project, we spend 10 days on an investigation. We spend 10 days on investigation. So in their group, they work with their project guidelines and they investigate. They're working on it. They're working the reviews, taking reviews, their tools, finding their tools. So actually preparation for the projects, and this is the actual implementation of the project into the field, we can say application. So we need to take more days, long time, long duration for the application of all kind of the design which we were developed with the help of the student. I'm again saying students is very important in the, it is not important, but it is only not important, but it center. He or she is very center person in a activity. So all kind of the motivation, all kind of the planning and all kind of the design, we can implement in the field with more big duration. That's why, because here actually the collaboration and cooperation happening among the groups, not between the groups, what I'm saying. So this kind of cooperative and collaborative attitudes develop in these days. Then finally they can analysis, they can trying to find the results with in their specific groups, with the discussion, with some kind of reviews, with the help of Google. So they can explain what is the actual output of their own project. Really the product is come out, really the product is useful, such kind of the products, such kind of the outputs are beneficiary for the user end. So these are the time of the analysis. It is again, I request to all my dear teachers, once the project complete, you have to celebrate the project. Presentation is going on. Generally presentation were happening. But we have to celebrate the project. We have to celebrate the output. We have to celebrate the product with the student. So this is the motivation to the students. So these are the some phases which you can implement in your projects, and these are the time frame. So this is one of tech activity which I develop with my students in the department. So these are some important consideration, important things you should be remember in in your mind when you are implementing the project working? Already we discussed, but just I would like to focus 2-3 things here. Whenever you design that, you have to focus on your learning outcomes and learning objectives. Before starting any kind of the project, you have to take some kind of reviews regarding particular projects, particular design. When you are defining the implementation program, designing the implementation program with the different kind of the activities, that time activities and tasks, that time you have to remember that it should be relevant to the learning objectives and target output. So my learning objective should be matched with my small activities it is in my projects. So in my project there are 10 different kind of activities, different kind of the tasks, all should be matched with the learning outcomes and learning objectives. If we miss this objectives and outcome with the task, you will maybe fail to achieve the proper goal. And ultimately what I'm saying that already I mentioned, in the implementation, suppose in the implementation program, here this is not implementation, in application, in the application program or in the duration of the application, the collaboration is developed. Definitely the collaboration is developed. So we have to give long span or duration for the application. So they develop their own ideas. You should follow some guidelines when we are implementing this project based learning. For example, process guidance. Already I mentioned it should be always open-ended guiding. You have to accept some kind of the suggestion from the students also at somewhere else. Sometimes we stuck, sometimes we face problem, sometimes they will face problem. So it should be open-ended everywhere, so we can match to each other. We have to focus on brainstorming before starting any kind of the activities. Because when you are designing the activities, when you are defining the activities, you have to take some kind of the brainstorming. We have to focus on the brainstorming and getting some ideas for your activities. Role playing, what I'm saying already in the design. What is my role? Sometimes I should become a teacher. Sometimes I should become very strict. Sometimes I should behave with the friends. Sometimes I should become a facilitator. Sometimes I should become a guide, philosopher, manage to them their problems. For example, they need to take some permission from the municipality for their projects, and they are facing a lot of problems. That time I should play my role. So this role playing is very important in the project-based learning. That's why it is just kind of support to the student, possible things. So we have to give the support to the student as a resource, as a strong resource behind the students. Second thing is that we have to grouping strategies, management of the group. It is very difficult to maintaining the group strategies. The big threat in a project-based learning that managing the groups, managing entire group of the one assignment. It is very tough. It is big challenge in front of the teacher, in front of the manager. How we can manage all the groups? Because suppose we can create some group of 5 students, and you found the group number 3. You found one student is not properly matching with the rest of 4 students. It is very difficult to carrying the projects. That time, how you can play the role as a guide? as a philosopher. It is depending on you. So group mechanism, group managing is very important in the project-based learning. And you can manage because you know the previous knowledge of the students, so the entire history of the student. So you are very aware about all the background, socio-economic background before starting the projects. In engineering, when you are assigning, don't assign, when you were working on a project, that time you should be know about the all kind of the backgrounds of the students, prior knowledge of the students. What I observe in generally technical education, some students are not be able to spend some money or economically. So what my concern is that you should be know the socio-economic status of your student. That's it. This is important in a project based. Ultimately, what I'm saying, you should be work as a guide. You should be work on the line of the assistance and guidance. You never work on a controlling. Don't become a dictator in the project based learning. Not at all, not at any level. You always have to work on the line of the assistance and guidance. Then it will be take very interesting in the project based learning. Ultimately, what I'm saying that what is your role? I hope you would not become like a teacher, such kind of the teacher honestly on your screen. So it should be very happy. You have to be you should be very pleasant in a group whenever the project is going on. What I'm already mentioning that the big challenge in the project-based learning to keep monitoring, to keep observing to your students. It is very big challenge in front of you, in front of us, that how we monitor our student and how we can maintain the records. So it is a qualitative work, qualitative research basically, how we can maintaining the records. In the project-based learning, what kind of resources? I think in engineering, your labs are the big and best resources. There is no challenge in front of your labs. So your resources there are a number of resources. Newspaper, books, magazine, TV, radio, movies, Google. Nowadays, Google we can see. So a number of resources are there. Already I mentioned in the very initial level that we have to give some kind of autonomy to the student. They can find a lot of resources. But my dear friends, you are the right person to find out which is the relevant, which is the appropriate resources for the particular projects. So they can find number of resources, but you are the only one person who can be able to say that this is the appropriate resource for your project. This is the relevant part for your project. This is the proper book for your project. This is the proper theory for your projects. So this is ultimately depend on you. So when we in a teacher education, our projects are very small projects, not like you technically big sound projects, but we have some kind of small activity projects. So these are our projects of our students. There were some projects of the physics and mathematics. So these are some outputs of the project-based learning. This is developed by the created by the students. So I think engineering students also they have a very different kind of the product. Some tips for the project-based learning. Already I have entered in my session somewhere I mentioned all these things. Just overlook on it should be start with small level, properly planned. Your involvement should be there. Otherwise, what happen? You are assigning the project. We are assigning the project with the teacher. Student thought that yes, our teacher is with us, and somewhere you miss entire the duration. That time it is not you are not at all the part of the project. Then it will be very difficult to achieve the proper objectives. So it is my plain request to all of you. you should be carry with your project with the students, and we have to do these things. Sandeep sir, in my first session, I just cover all the theoretical background and characteristics of the project-based learning. If Bhosle sir is there,
Yes, sir.
one
Yes,
of the
sir.
organizer, Dhamal madam is there, one of the organizer. So this is one kind of, this is the first session, which is theoretical background. What is the activity design? What is the theories behind the project-based learning? How I implemented, but I'm sharing my some projects with you. So that's it in this session. And how you can design your projects, we will design in the next session.
Right, sir. Uh, Thank you very much, Dr. Vaibhav Jadhav, sir, for your insights on the theoretical framework of project-based learning. I request to all the participants to be joined for the next sessions. After 1 hour, we will be sending you link on the groups which we have, and again on your mails also. So after 1 hour, we will be meeting again. That is near about 1 o'clock, sorry, 12 o'clock. So the second session will be started at 1 o'clock, and we will be meeting at 1 o'clock after 1 hour. Thank you very much for participating for this particular session. And hope that,
Bhosle sir,
yes, sir.
we according to our schedule, we have a 12:30.
Yes, sir. 12:30. So is it feasible for you, sir?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. Because of the lunch break, we have to take the lunch break. Therefore, we are giving the one hour time.
No problem.
Yeah.
No problem.
We have to give the lunch break to all participants
Yes,
so
sir.
that they can get lunch.
Yes, sir.
So 1 o'clock is a.
At 1 o'clock, we will be
Yes,
meeting.
yes, yes.
Yes, sir. Okay, thank you, Jadhav, sir.
Thank you.
Sir, please send the feedback, sir.
Yeah, I'll be sending you the link after the second session, okay?
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, yeah.
Same way. You want to try for
Sandeep, sir. Hello.
Yes, sir.
So, can we end this meeting?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We can do this end meeting and we can start at 1 a.m.
Yeah,
1 p.m.
1 p.m. Right. Okay. We can start at 1 p.m. Right. Thank you, sir.
Sir, please send the link to at 1 o'clock program, sir.
Yeah, fine.
Yes,
I'll
yes,
send
yes,
you.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Link will be shared on the WhatsApp group.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Anybody else? No.